Today we have Cheryl Heyword and the manager of the Belfair Timberland Regional Library. It's Jenny Grenfell and Cheryl Heyword. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Cheryl, I know you come in here, once a quarter, seems like? Every couple months?
Like twice a year.
Twice
now.
a year, 6 months, every 6 months? Because you're now going to be on the way to talk with the county commissioners about how the Timberland Regional Library is doing here in the county.
Yes. Oh, across the 5 counties. Yes. So we're talking today about celebrating our 50th anniversary.
Wow.
November of 1968, people voted to create a self-taxing district, junior taxing district, an inter-county rural library district. And so if people want to know more about that, they can look up the Revised Code of Washington, Chapter 27.12, and learn more about how this system is meant to provide library services across the 5-county region of Mason, Thurston, Lewis, Grays Harbor, and Pacific counties.
Wow. And the library system, of course, offers myriads of publications for folks, both online and in physical book format. They have expanded now to virtual reality and online reading of books with your different apps and things like that. So from 50 years to now, big changes.
Massive changes, both obviously in terms of the internet, in terms of online services, in terms of how people use their libraries and how we provide library service is very, very different than in 1968.
So in 68 till now, the number of libraries that is increased into the system, and where were some of the main ones? I mean, I would imagine the Olympia Library was kind of the main hub.
At that point, there were independent like county systems and probably standalone ones too. I don't know them all off the top of my head, but certainly the cities and towns that had Carnegie libraries such as Olympia and Centralia and Hoquiam and so on, and South Bend and Raymond, those are the ones that come quickly to my mind, are probably were the ones to begin with.
Sure.
But if you want a full chronological history of what town or what library was built or got annexed into the system, because over the last 5 decades, there have been, so let me go back and say that this is a rural county district, which means it's unincorporated. The people who lived in the unincorporated areas got to vote to form this district. So the people who are living in the cities have to decide whether or not they're going to contract fees through their city, and the city pays their contracting fees to the library, or they vote to annex, and then that means that the residents of the city, if they vote yes, means their taxes go directly to Timberland Regional Library. So over the years, we have had a mixture of contracting and annexed cities, and it's only been in the last, I think about 3 years or so, that we now have all the cities who are with us are annexed to us. That means that the people of those cities, like Shelton, like Hoquiam, like Morton, like Toledo, have voted very high over the years, and I can't remember all the percentages right now, but very high to be annexed to Timberland Regional Library, Raymond included.
Right.
Nice. So when you talk about Belfair is not an incorporated city.
Yeah.
So Belfair and Hoodsport are 2 buildings that Timberland Regional Library owns, providing service in the unincorporated areas. So that's a brief history, and if you want to know more, you can go to trl.org and see the chronology of what happened in what year.
Jenny, let's talk about the Belfair library system, but then let's open it up to the users of the library system and how having a library in a community, especially in an unincorporated area, how that helps the citizens of that community get together, but then also have the opportunity to better themselves.
Absolutely. We're really working to make the library a community hub for that very reason. We're so far flung. But in addition to the books and materials that you were mentioning, we provide computer access. Lots of people don't have their own computer, they don't have Wi-Fi, or they've got that really slow access, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they can come to the library, do it in twice the time. We provide free printing, so it's an absolute assistance for people looking for jobs. trying to get ahead that way. Our early literacy programs provide that help for families. We've got a story time and a play and learn. So there's 2 different opportunities for families to engage with their small children and get them ready for school. Our adult programming brings in performers. We have one coming up on Thursday night who's Yaqui, doing Yaqui Stories and Music, which is a Indian tribe in Arizona. And he's got his artworks on display places. He's done recordings. So we bring that kind of access into the community too.
Very cool.
So we're kind of a window to the world, and we help them access the world through various things.
Isn't that something? Tell me about the High School 21 program.
So I just want to step back before I talk about that and just briefly say that Timberland Regional Library applied to become connection sites as part of the WorkSource network. And you'll hear more about that in the months to come. So that means that people can come to go to any of the libraries and get that connection to WorkSource materials and WorkSource online. And it's a big system. There's 19 core partners. We are not one of the core partners. We are a community-based organization, and yet at the same time, we have expanded the reach of the WorkSource network. So High School 21 plays into that. And High School 21 is, although it says 21 for over 21, High School 21 plus, it really can be for people over the age of 18. The last time we looked at our statistics, there's an average of about 40,000 people across the 5-county region who are over 21 who do not have a high school degree. And it stops them from getting a job, and it stops them from moving up in their company. So we have partnered with the colleges, both Olympic, Centralia, and Grace Harbor College, and we're also working with the South Puget Sound Community College. One of the colleges applied to the State Board of Community and Technical Colleges, got the grant because we couldn't apply for that grant. They gave us the money, and the money is exclusively to purchase Chromebooks so that the student can check it out for 10 weeks and then do the online curriculum that is High School 21 plus. And the High School 21 plus has a proven track record, and it's tailor-made to the student based on their life experience, work experience. And so
that's amazing.
It is amazing. And so we got about $83,000. We bought 152 Chromebooks. This grant was exclusively about equipment. And then we got another grant from the state library to hire a part-time technician, IT technician, to process it. We also got additional funds from the state library as a grant to market it. And so North Mason, Belfair, Timberland Library will be one of the hubs working with the Olympic College on providing High School 21 for the student to come in. They have to register with the college. Then they come into Timberland, to Belfair, to North Mason, and check out that Chromebook. So the other one that is similar to that, not similar, but it's an online class that also involves 5 hours of in-class instruction, which will take place in the meeting room at the North Mason Library, and that is IDEA, Integrated Digital English Acceleration, an online English as a second language learning curriculum that requires 5 hours of online classes a week and then 5 hours in live with an instructor. So we're just getting that off the ground.
Cool.
Yes. And then in addition to all that, I wanted to mention that we have an initiative called MyTRL, which provides an e-number, an electronic number to students. And we just signed a memo of understanding with the North Mason School District, which allows for, this is an automatic opt-in. So parents will need to opt out if they do not want their child to have access to our online resources, including like what you were saying, Jeff, about downloadable audio, downloadable books for children and teens. There's also a lot of homework help there that it goes hand in hand with the databases and online services that the school districts offer. So this is very powerful. We have over 40, about 8 school districts now. There's over 45 in the whole 5-county region. We have about 40,000 students now signed up. In the past year, we have another 8 in the queue. For those of your listeners who have students who have dropped out of school and who are now back into a reentry program called Gravity, which is across the 5-county region. Gravity is also offers the students this e-number as well.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Very cool.
That is
Is there a place on the TRL website where you can kind of sign up for a newsletter or
Yes.
a way that you get updated when these new programs become available or new resources become
Yes.
available?
Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, we put out an e-newsletter. We used to offer one, I believe, every 2 months, and now there's so much information that we're putting it out monthly.
Oh, good.
I think we now have about 134,000 people signed up for the email. So I would encourage you to go to trl.org and sign up for an e-newsletter.
Very nice.
Yes.
There right now, looking good on the website as usual from the Timberland Regional Library, talking about all the great things that the library system has to offer. It's Jenny Grenfell and Cheryl Heyword. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in.